Hello, Christine here from Million Dollar Startups. Today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about building a path to success so that you have a really clear way to get your startup off the ground and running and collecting customers and making sales. So one way to really focus on this is to start with business systems. The reason why business systems are so important is that they really help you build a path to success. And the systems that you need in any business, and certainly when you're starting out, are a marketing system that helps you get people interested in what you have to offer and willing to take a closer look at your product or service so that they can become potential customers and work through your sales system. Then you want a research and development system, because once you have customers, you want to know what you can do to provide additional products and services for them, as well as how you can expand your market so that you can have more products to appeal to a broader range of customers. Then you also need to have a distribution system. The distribution system in the digital world is how do people move through your sales funnel and get delivery of your products. And in a brick and mortar system, obviously it's how do you get products out to the customers once they've made a purchase. Then you also want to have your eye on what you need after you make a sale. This is where customer support system comes into play, because invariably people who buy your product will need assistance into how to implement it the best way. Some will have problems. A few might want to have refunds. And to deal with all those sorts of situations, you want to have customer support systems and procedures in place so that the customers get dealt with quickly, efficiently, and in a way that pleases them, and also has the least disruption on your sales efforts. Then you also need an accounting system so that you know financially where you are as you work through your business year. You want to know how much money you're spending, how much is coming in, and also you want to use your accounting system to tell you which products are popular and which either need attention and revamping or perhaps dropping from your product line. This falls into how you treat your inventory system. Obviously less important if you have digital products that you're selling, but when you have physical goods that you need to get from suppliers to customers, you really need to watch on how you manage your inventory and make sure that the goods that you're receiving are moving through your system and getting out to the customer base as quickly as possible. Then finally, you want to have a hiring system that really does an excellent job of getting high quality, really well fit and motivated employees working for your company, so that once you have them on board and in your business systems, they can do a lot to implement the systems that you put in place and make sure that you are servicing customers as effectively and efficiently as possible. Because your business really is a process path. That means how do you acquire customers, how do you get them to purchase, how do you supply them with the product or service that you are offering, and how do you make sure that they're happy after the sale. All these things are a process and clearly delineated path that you have to walk. The more that you do to make sure that that process path is clear to everyone who's involved in it and does the best job possible of pleasing your customers, will be the best possible way for you to increase your business and your sales. So you want to think about building each system, and you want to start with a clear idea of the business result that you want to achieve with each particular system. So you want to spend the most time planning what you want, and then once you have that clear, it's very easy to see which steps you need to put in place and which order they should be in. So to do that, you want to map your process path to see from where you are now to your ultimate business objective, and then just build the set of steps that it takes to get from where you are to where you want to be. You also need to decide how each task gets completed and who is in charge for making sure it gets completed correctly. Because if you miss out on having accountability with each of these tasks, then things get overlooked, the tasks get disconnected from one another, and you have a less perfect product than you would have if you had paid more attention to making sure that the path itself is well understood by everyone and also well designed so that it's efficient. Remember that the system that you put in place is there to take the burden off you making decisions that need to be made over and over again and in the same way. So you want to make very, very sure that your system has rules that serve your ultimate objective, that are put together in a rational and easy to understand way, and make sure that they actually work. Because if you fail to do that and you have errors in your system, then all you've done is make an institutionalized error replication system, which is the opposite of what you want to achieve with a business system. So just check and make sure that the path that you have really leads to the result that you want. And then you can set it and just manage it rather than having to watch it every time that those tasks need to be completed. Now, the business systems also improve the way that people in the business interact with each other. And this does a great deal to improve the teamwork as founders, employees, independent contractors, and freelancers all work together to move the business forward and provide products and services that customers want. So you also want to do this to make the team as efficient, as functional, and as successful as you possibly can. Remember, today, the businesses need to move very quickly, and they need to adjust to market conditions and also customer requirements very quickly. So when you have a very smooth process path for getting something accomplished in your business, then everyone can focus on doing their part and doing it well, rather than having to make sure that the process that they have or the task that they're going to complete is going to be done correctly. And it also means that they don't have to look back to make sure that they got the piece of the task that they're supposed to complete in the proper manner, and that they also don't have to worry about what's going to happen when they pass it off to the next step. When you have a process in place for getting your business objectives achieved, then each team member also needs to know what the overall plan is in order to what you're trying to achieve with your business, and that way they can see how their efforts fit into it, and it makes it a much smoother process for getting work done when everyone knows why they're doing a particular task and how doing it in the way that you request helps make the business more successful. Then you also want to make sure that everyone is essentially on the same path, walking the same direction. That way this makes a cohesive effort for the team and make sure that you get to the result that you want. The business systems, once they're properly designed and tested, will make sure that you lead your business to predictable, positive results, which are essentially the achievements that you are looking for in terms of your business efforts and the customers that you want to serve. If you have any other questions, we're happy to help you at $1 Million Startup. Join the conversation where we talk about what it takes to get started and be successful building $1 million business.